Last night's observance of the human New Year on the Citadel is already being called the Shower of Gold, and is getting endless coverage on morning news shows. After the New Year's Eve time ball was stolen, event organizers created an emergency team to stage the climactic moment. After assembling over 350 biotic attendants, organizers dumped 400 kilos of glitter and mylar strips at the base of the spire. During the final countdown, the biotics lifted the mass into the sky, held it there with singularities, then, as strobe lights fired in time with the new year, pushed and pulled the sparkles into a tornado that rained down on partygoers.
I got it all over my scalp and some in my mouth,
said Wanasari.
but I also proposed to my bondmate at midnight, so I'd say the night was a big success.
Riots broke out today on the colony world of Olor, as part of a fierce struggle over water rights. Demonstrations at the corporate headquarters of the municipal water company Aquastructure turned violent when corporate police attempted to break up protesters. Firebombs and gunfire ended with 13 dead and 40 wounded. This is one of many recent demonstrations that have called attention to the dichotomy between wealthy Solarians and poor humans on the planet. The breaking point came when Aquastructure decided against building pipes in the human district of Shihu, effectively denying the residents any hope of running water.
I just thought that's how the colony was going to be,
said Chunkai-ji, one of the human residents.
Then I found out that the Solarian districts were getting all the water they wanted. That's not right.
Aquastructure representatives had no comment on today's violence. An unexpected issue has developed after a new vine was introduced on the colony world of Sather: mold. The Alliance Bureau of Food and Drug Safety confirmed that the mold, which forms a thin, non-poisonous layer of powder on some strains of Ostelbeer, easily washes off without a trace. Governor Vien Suchart assured the press. All Ostelbeer shipped off-planet is thoroughly washed and inspected before packaging. While the mold has no toxic properties for most levoamino-based sapien species, several reports of people experiencing hallucinogenic episodes after ingesting small quantities of the mold, referred to as creeper in some black markets, have surfaced. While properly cleaned vegetation can still be legally shipped from Sather, more than 60 Citadel worlds are recalling products made with Ostelbeer grown on the colony. Humans and Turians are gathering on the planet Krylyavan today to participate in joint training and survival exercises between their two militaries.
The Alliance is pleased to coordinate this effort with the Turian hierarchy,
said Admiral Pat Forsyth.
Our Marines will compete against their Turian counterparts in a series of mock battles in harsh environments that will test preparedness in the face of extreme conditions.
Outside observers are calling it a diplomatic move aimed at increasing cooperation between the two races, as Earth's military becomes increasingly involved in Citadel defense plans. Spokespeople for both parties deny that the exercise have anything to do with current tensions on Karshan.
Similarities between the planets are purely coincidental. An official commentary on the Karshan situation comes directly from the office of the Citadel Council,
said Forsyth. The mixed media showcase of Krogan Creative Works, 1 in 1,000, opened last night at Ilium's prestigious Municipal Institute of Art. As Krogan history is often viewed by others as violent and tragic, the art display challenges viewers to rethink their established views on Krogan culture. Dr. Alyssa Banser, the Institute's program coordinator, explains.
We wanted to explore different aspects of the Krogan people, from the dark to the sublime. We hope to inspire debate on the very nature of how we define art.
Some early reviews have hailed Dr. Banser as courageous. Others call the showcase exploitative and in poor taste, noting that few, if any, of the show's pieces were created by Krogan artists. The showcase is on display until Earth Standard Date, February 21st. The moon of Voya is shaping up to be the entertainment destination this year. To date, 12 major acts have been signed to play Voya's 600,000-seater stadium, known as the Parthenade. Tickets are already going fast for performance that include Domino Musk, Chadback, MDGS, and Lili Tenigus. Interestingly, concert organizers are only releasing footage of the shows a year after a given performance.
These are one-of-a-kind concerts,
says the Parthenade's booking manager, Ivica Folnovich.
As such, our electronic security measures are geared toward blacking out outside recording devices. Our mission at the Parthenade is to host events that have to be seen live to be believed.
How prepared are you for a hull breach? Is your starship's registration up to date? Have all of your spacesuit been pressure tested within the last 6 months? During Space Safety and Awareness Week, everyone inside Council Space is being encouraged to make sure their safety knowledge is up to galactic standards.
It could save your life,
says SSAW organizer Kyo Tanaka.
You don't want people terrified every time they start their engines, but they need to respond quickly and efficiently in the event of an accident. Most companies that train pilots offer refresher courses on navigation, maintenance, alien flight protocols, and emergency responses. Why not take advantage?
A Fine Line, the Journal of Darkness and Hope, hit stores this week, and the book is making waves with critics and audiences alike. Co-authored by Asari prisoners of war, survivors Gianna Quintani and Bella Ans tell the story of torture at Krogan hands during their 140-year ordeal in the notorious POW camps of planet Densak. Communication was accomplished via a complex series of rapping that was barely audible through the wall separating the cells. The two were liberated at the hands of Asari commandos and saw each other's faces for the first time aboard the military gunship that carried them off-planet. Quintani lost a long battle with the Asari disease Ahok fasciitis last year, but lived to see her story in print, reading an advance copy on her deathbed. Controversy brews tonight as scientists on Mars assess the contents of a newly opened chamber in the Prothean ruins. The opening has been a dream of exoarchaeologists for decades, delayed by the many steps necessary to replicate Prothean code keys and crack the cryptography for entry. Critics say the Milky Way Foundation, which provided supercomputers for the cryptanalysis, could hoard any Prothean discoveries. Dr. Unira Tilam, liaison from the Citadel Committee on Paleotechnology, says she's been kept in the dark.
Foundation personnel have orchestrated a security system that keeps out everyone except a select cabal.
She accuses.
Anything could be taken from inside, and we'd never know.
Dr. Ilsa Warren, who heads the analysis unit, dismisses the allegation.
We've made it clear all technology stays in situ throughout the cataloging and analysis process, which could take years.
She says.
Dr. Talam's fears would be more appropriate closer to the end of the decade.
Creeper, a powerful new hallucinogenic drug, is fetching record prices at 9,000 credits per gram on the black market. Several fringe spiritual groups are claiming it grants especially potent visions, while recreational drug users say it offers hours of colorful daydreams with virtually no side effects. But not everyone is so sanguine about its use.
There are no long-term medical studies on the effects of Creeper on somebody's body,
warns Dr. Darla Rory, a specialist on addictive substances.
And as always, people prone to addiction are at risk. Creeper's sense of escapism hooks people on a psychological level, not a chemical one. It's extremely insidious in that regard.
Alliance headquarters on Arcturus Station is buzzing about an unusual incident tonight. Information is still sketchy, but it appears Asari explorers have alerted Alliance leadership to a previously unknown colony of humans in the Alpha Centauri system. The Asari were monitoring a primitive alien species on a planet in the region when a human party approached and ambushed them, taking at least one Asari scientist prisoner. Rather than intervene and potentially inflame the situation, the Asari contacted Alliance leadership to maintain peace. But, as one Alliance source confided, that's easier said than done. The source explained.
The thing is, we can't find any record of these people. None. So what are they doing out there?
Further details will follow as the situation develops. Surprising details have emerged about recently discovered human colonists in the Alpha Centauri system who captured an Asari scientist. Alliance ships performed a reconnaissance overflight of the planet in question and gathered details about a settlement there. After cross-referencing with Alliance databases, a clearer picture has emerged. An Alliance source explained,
"These people are literally a lost colony in every sense of the word. We're 95% certain they originated from the Manswell expedition of 2070.
A background check reveals Victor Manswell was a billionaire who funded his own private spaceflight in the year 2075 after growing frustrated with the pace of official exploration. Predating the use of Mass Effect relays, some 300 people joined the expedition and were placed in cryogenic freeze for the journey. After a successful launch, the colonists were never heard from again. Until today, if Alliance suspicions prove true. An effort is underway today in the Alpha Centauri system as Alliance specialists work to establish contact with a lost colony of early human explorers who took an Asari scientist prisoner. Mission Commander John Hayes said,
"As near as we can tell, these people slipped through the cracks. They were considered missing when communication was lost with their ship after they left in 2075, and fell off the radar, so to speak. It's entirely possible they have no idea what's happened in the galaxy for the last 110 years. We're treating it as a first contact situation."
Accompanying the military will be experts from a variety of fields, including sociologists, anthropologists, linguists, psychologists, geneticists, and a host of supporting medical personnel. One anthropologist commented,
"It reminds me of those 19th century explorers who discovered tribes deep in the Amazon rainforests. The natives had no idea the wider world existed."
The mission to establish contact with a lost human colony from the Manswell expedition bore mixed results this week. According to Commander John Hayes, Alliance ships landed far from the human settlement so as not to exacerbate an already uncertain situation.
"We didn't want a whole armada of ships descending from the sky to spook these people."
Nevertheless, the colonists feared an attack when Alliance personnel approached on foot.
"They put up a spirited defense. A few of our people were wounded, and unfortunately they suffered a few casualties as well."
Once the situation was under control, a dialogue with the colonists was opened.
"It took some convincing that we were humans from Earth. They suspected an alien plot."
Eventually, an Alliance representative was allowed into their camp to make contact with their leader and check on the condition of their Asari prisoner. Details are pending. More news today out of the Alpha Centauri system, where an Alliance mission has made contact with a lost colony of human explorers from the Manswell expedition of 2070.
"To say these people are in a state of shock would be an understatement,"
said Commander John Hayes.
"Nearly 120 years of history has passed them by. When they left Earth, nobody knew aliens even existed."
The colonist's Asari prisoner has been released and is in good condition.
"They were understandably spooked by the Asari. Who wouldn't be, seeing a biotic alien for the first time? In fact, I want to personally thank the Asari for her restraint in this matter. She could have fought her way out, but once she understood the situation these people were in, she was patient and let the Alliance resolve the situation."
Sociologists are now working with the colonists to decide the best course of action for the future. some closure today in the case of the lost colonists of the Manswell expedition. After educating the colonists on the state of galactic affairs, Alliance personnel asked the group where they wished to live. Nearly half of them voted to stay on the planet, with one of them saying,
"Everything has changed so much that I don't see how I could ever go back. Mass relays? The Citadel? Robot wars? I wouldn't know what to make of any of that. I feel like a caveman seeing New York for the first time."
Others were eager to rejoin galactic life.
"I just discovered one of my descendants is still alive,"
another colonist explained.
"How weird would that be, going back to see him?"
An Alliance sociologist said they will help the colonists assimilate into modern life if they choose to return to Earth.
Follow-up interviews and seeing how they adjust should be fascinating,
she said. Sather, home to fields of vines that produce the hallucinogenic drug commonly called creeper, has frozen all immigration applications
until we can sort out genuine colonists from cut-and-run opportunists,
declared Governor Vien Suchert.
"A year ago we were a colony of 4,000. Now we're receiving that many petitions for citizenship in an hour. Even if we wanted to accommodate every immigration request, we simply don't have the infrastructure."
Governor Suchert says he'll be regulating ocellular production facilities more closely, after several crates of creeper were discovered in homes of factory workers last week.